Hey guys, so today we're going to take a look at the best, or at least certainly the coolest, effect cymbal that Zildjian makes. This is the Trashformer, and we're going to take a deep dive. We're going to actually play on 3 different makes of this same model, and we're going to listen to a whole bunch of sound samples and go through some history on this cymbal. Okay, so what is the Zildjian Trashformer? Well, as you can see, it's a cymbal that has some bends in it, right? So usually your cymbals are nice and even, right? They've gone in and they've put 3 severe bends on this cymbal. My understanding is of how this came about was Mike Mangini, the current drummer for Dream Theater, actually pitched this idea to Zildjian. I don't remember if the story goes that it was one of his or actually one of his students' cymbals, but apparently someone drove over a cymbal and bent the cymbal, and apparently this is how this whole thing started. Mike Mangini pitched an idea to Zildjian. Hey, make me a cymbal that's all like warped and screwed up, and you know it's gonna give us a nice trashy sound, or at least he proposed that. So Zildjian tried it out and they prototyped it, and that's how they came up with this cymbal. Actually, what they originally came up with was a cymbal in the ZXT line. So right now, this cymbal line, ZXT, is defunct. They don't have it anymore. They had like 3 different lines that all started with Z. And this is when they first started making this cymbal. They've killed those lines off, like I said, but the Trashformers did so well in that line that they decided to keep them. And now they are as part of the sound effects line. So whenever you buy them now, you'll see it says sound effects on the bottom. But if you go online, you buy them used, you might see that it says ZXT up top. One other thing to note is that these cymbals are made in a traditional style finish, but then they do put like a kind of coating, like a coloring on them to try to make them look aged. As you can see, the coloring on these 2 are not exactly the same, a little bit different. According to Zildjian's website, there is going to be some variation from one make to another on how much coloring there is, so just be aware of that when you go to buy this. Something else to note, that if you go to buy one of these used, that at one point in time, and I don't remember if it was the ZXT line or the sound effects line, but at one point, Zildjian tried to make a version of this with 4 bends instead of 3. And I don't know why, but the version of this that I had played on, it did not have the same sort of, sonic characteristic. This 3 bend thing it's definitely a trashy cymbal, but it's a very like appeasing or appealing to me trashy sound. But the 4 bend one was just, it just sounded kind of trashy. So if you're buying one online, make sure you, buying one used online, make sure that you see a picture of it in advance. Try to avoid any Trashformers that have 4 bends in them. Now, there's actually 3 different sizes on these cymbals. This is the 14-inch, and I've been playing on these for quite a while. I believe after they started coming out with the 14 inches, then they started making 8 inches and 10-inch versions of this. Today, we're going to be focused entirely on the sounds on this larger 14-inch. Now, the second to most interesting thing, because the most interesting thing about this cymbal is definitely the sound, but the second most interesting thing is actually the price point. Like I said, this was from one of their cheaper lines from before. That means that these are not B20 alloy cymbals. Usually I try to stay away from the cheaper lines because I don't typically like the sounds of them, but I am occasionally surprised, and I was surprised when I first tried one of these. But because it is from a cheaper line, it is a lot less money. At the time that I'm recording this video right now, a new one of these is about $100. Zildjian has an A series, FX cymbal that's $200, twice the price as one of these. So I'm thinking, you're going to be able to get 2 of these, for the price of one of those. And I think that the sound quality or uniqueness of the sound that you get from this is going to be a lot better than what you're going to get from just, those other effect cymbals are basically just regular cymbals where they've cut holes in them. This is going to be something a lot more different. Okay, so enough talking. Let's get into the sound samples. What I'm going to do is, I have 3 of these right now. I'm going to lay out all 3 here. I'm going to play on all different, like towards the edge, the middle, towards the bell, the sides. I'm going to hit everything a whole bunch of times, going through all three of them, so that you can hear what the variation is between, you know, one make to another. After that, I'm going to go back to my normal setup where I have just one Trashformer on my kit. And I'm going to play through a few different beats that incorporates the Trashformer, so you can hear how you yourselves can incorporate this kind of sound into your beats. So what did you guys think of the sound from the Trashformer? How does it live up to other effect cymbals that you may have used in the past? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I also have other cymbal review videos and stick reviews and recording tip videos and all sorts of lesson videos and everything else coming out. So if you don't want to miss out on that stuff, then don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, peace.